Okay, so I think everybody knows that this is again not a drill because this is what the Bitcoin chart looks like as of right now. And then we're looking all the way up to, $250,000, and the ultimate extension target that I'll cover in this video is literally like $290,000. Could potentially be a $300,000 Bitcoin. It could literally almost 4x from here, 3x from here. Does it do that? Does it have the juice to do that? Does it have the juice to get to 100K today? We're about to find out in the video. Absolutely parabolic. New all-time high. We killed that line in the sand right here that I was talking about yesterday on my previous video. So if you're excited, make sure you smash the like button. Anybody that's here from watching the OG Drew Wolfer channel, I appreciate you. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Boom! Bang on the notification bell because we're going to continue covering this just like we're continuing to cover other things in the market. We'll probably talk a lot more about gold. I talk a lot more about stocks, some of the options, things of that sort. And with that being said, let's just jump straight into it. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, baby. How much of this was actually prompted by Nvidia returning good earnings results yesterday? Probably a little bit of it. Yeah, definitely, because they tend to run together. When Nvidia is doing well, Bitcoin will do well because they're like very deep and heavy in the mining sector with, the GPUs, things of that sort. So a lot of people kind of correlate that, right? How much of this has to do with MicroStrategy offering $2.9 billion worth of convertible notes due in 2029 at a 0% rate? Probably a lot. To be honest with you. So I would expect like a little bit of a shade, a little bit of a fade, a pullback here, test those previous levels. But I'm going to show you exactly what those levels are because what's most likely happening is we're probably going to about 120K first. And well, obviously we got to get to 100K first, but we're looking at like 120, 130K, like pretty quick target on that. And what I mean by quick is, I mean, this is something that could happen in weeks, not even months, right? Maybe a month, two, but like coming into 2025, especially whenever Trump takes office. Secondarily, we're eyeing a target after the 130 level of $180,000. And then we're looking all the way up to, $250,000. And the ultimate extension target that I'll cover in this video is literally like $290,000. Pretty crazy. So like you're looking at could potentially be a $300,000 Bitcoin. It could literally almost 4x from here, 3x from here. Does it do that? Does it have the juice to do that? Does it have the juice to get to 100K today? We're about to find out in the video. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the charts and see what we can uncover. I went ahead and took everything off of the charts. That way it's naked and we're just looking at everything for what it is right now, right this second, today. Okay. So first and foremost, the first thing that you need to understand is we did smash this. Okay. This was the trend channel that I was talking about in my video yesterday that I was like, this is the proverbial line in the sand, right? This is the trend channel that dates all the way back to where we kind of established it in 2021 with that bull run. And then secondarily, all the way back to 2018, where this channel has just been respected, man. Like came up all the way to the middle of it, boom, back tested the bottom as support, fell through, tested the bottom as resistance, fell back again, boom, right here, bam, came through. As you can see, this channel has held up for quite a while. So this is the first significant move above it. All right, so we'll just call it what it is. Very significant, very exciting stuff. And what we have done now is we have now pierced that, and we just need to see this daily candle close above it, okay? Because you can see, like, on this candle right here, if we take a microscope, right, and we zoom in, we can see that we barely, by like an inch, okay, breached it yesterday. So technically, could this be the confirmation candle? Yeah, it could. I would rather see the confirmation candle come after this one, okay? And what do I mean by that? Whenever you breach a level like this, you have to breach and then you have to close a candle after the breach candle higher than the close of the breach candle. Now, is this a breach candle or is it a kiss or a touch candle? I would argue that it's more of a touch candle, so I would say this is more of the breach candle. Some other people would argue otherwise. I just like to err on the side of caution, okay, and be safe rather than sorry. This was the line in the sand that we were talking about yesterday. And if you go to the hourly chart, you're going to see an upward trending channel that we also busted out of. I'm actually considering entering. I've already actually entered. I'm starting to DCA in. I entered right here at the test of this channel. And whenever I was filming my previous video, and you can see this channel has actually been very respected, okay, since like we started that massive run up to where we got into the 90K range, right? So this channel has been respected. Bam, tested as support, support, support. Bam, tested as resistance, came through, support. Now it's resistance, support down here. Resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Finally went through it, came back and back tested the middle of it. This is when we knew, this is brewing. Something here is brewing, and this is why I started talking about it yesterday. Hey, something's brewing here. It's either going to be a massive rejection, bam, down to like here, or it's going to be a massive pump to the upside, and we're looking at 120, 130. Okay. Now I'm going to pull this thing off of here. I'm going to leave this big channel on here just so that everybody has that kind of bearing. But you can enter, a short-term long position if you're targeting 100K, right? You can enter that right here if you really wanted to, like at the kind of touch of that channel. Because I mean, you're still looking at a 3.5% move, and usually we breach those lines by up to 1%. So you could even target up to $101,000. $100,000 is going to be that psychological level, though. That's where you need to be taking things into account, where a lot of people are going to be taking profits. And especially whenever you saw Nvidia beating yesterday, people are riding high on that. That news will go away soon. MicroStrategy's buying $2.6 billion worth of Bitcoin if they, raise all the money from these convertible notes. Again, how long does that sustain the market? I don't know. But what we want to see is a back test of this level right here, this 94.5 level, which is why I'm okay with DCAing all the way down to here. And then I'd probably set my stop loss somewhere in the 92.8 range. Okay. So yeah, no big deal. And you see why 92.8, right? Right over here. Boom. This is like really good news. But I want to show you a couple other things that we have busted out of. We've got this bull pennant that is giving us a $110,000 price target. That's where we got to go first. Okay. Then we'll probably come back, retest the 100K level, or even this 94.5, 95 level, and then blast off again, right? But what are the targets after that? Because now that we've broken out of this kind of like bull pennant, or, even upward trending channel, if you want to call it the upward trending channel, which was kind of like right here, right? We've busted out of that. We can take this price target and we can move it up here now instead. And we can say, okay, we busted out right here. Where does that take us? Yeah, about $108,000, $109,000, right? So let's just assume that that's what we're going to do. That's why I started entering right here, right? I started entering right on this retest, okay? I entered right here at like $96,000, $97,000, something like that. And honestly, I'd be okay DCAing down to here and having a stop loss at about 92.8, okay? So with all that said, there's a couple other things that we have kind of broken through that I want people to be aware of that are going to be key levels of support and resistance. Support right now, but if we break below it, definitely resistance. Okay, here's these little micro channels, okay? And I'm going to put one up at a time. So this is the little micro channel that you're seeing that was like upward trending that we broke through. Guess where that support is? 94.5, right? Then you've got this one that we broke through as well. Guess where that support is? Literally 95.2. So that's why I would layer orders right here, 96.3, right where that this channel is right here. Let's see. I would start layering orders right here. 96,000. You've got 95,000. And then you've got like the 94.5 range. So that's that gives you 3 areas to enter a long position, right? And then where's your stop loss at though? Right here, man. It's not hard to see. This is where you don't want to be, right? Because we get below this, this is it's just not looking good. Okay. So, and we're going to come back and retest all of these things that we just saw now as resistances, right? So you're going to have massive resistances right here. So if you lose this level, you've got massive resistances and this was just a fake out, that's not good news for us. And I would be targeting more around $85,000 for an entry, even $81,000, maybe all the way down to $77,000, depending on, what the market looks like. RSI, stochastics, things of that sort, right? Now, how did we get here? Okay. And I went over this a little bit in the previous video, and I'm going to first show it to you on the daily chart. Okay. Because we had this massive bull flag from March that took us literally right to where we are. Okay. So we finally broke out of that a little while ago, and it took us right up to that resistance. And that's why I was like, this is the line in the sand, man. That's why people were like, unless you're screaming Bitcoin to the moon, people hate it. And I was just like, look, I'm not saying Bitcoin's going down. I'm saying this is the line in the sand. It could go down. It could go up. Here's the thing. There's going to be a massive move one way or the other. Once this level is breached, either way, if we get rejected, right, we're coming down. We're coming down right here, probably 80,000, 85,000, right? Go look at my thumbnail. Let's say that exact thing. And if we don't get breached, we're probably going to 120. Why do I think that we're going to 120, right? Well, first and foremost, we we also have this thing, right? This is, and I talked about this a long time ago before anybody said anything about it. I was talking about this thing. And it is the cup and handle pattern. Okay. So the cup and handle pattern right here, as you can see, we breached it over here and we're looking at $130,000 Bitcoin target on that. Okay. That's pretty crazy. Then we've got our retracement Fibonacci that dates all the way back to the low after the previous bull run in 2017. So if you take the low, you measure it to the high of the 2021 bull run, then you measure it to the low of the, after 2021 bull run, it gives you that price target of $120,000. This is why I'm calling out these levels, man. The reason why I was calling out these other ones, 80, 80K was because that's where we kind of like broke above this one, right? Right here. This is the full kind of like 1.0 retracement of like the extension of this fib. And that's where that massive kind of support was going to be. So I was like, okay, even if we get rejected here, we're probably going to 80K. Boom, blast off, 120, baby. And everybody's like laughing. And I'm like, no, I mean, that's just what the cards are saying. Like, I don't know why you're laughing. This is just mathematics. It's technical analysis. It is what it is. But I want to show you kind of another reason why we got here. Okay. And this is just to teach you so that you can see these things and then pick them out. And you don't have to sit here and wait for me to talk about them, right? Because I'm busy. Everybody's busy. I've got stuff to do. And I'm not necessarily going to be like showing people everything. Okay, so we've got a couple of micro bull flags here, right? That's pretty easy to see. Where do those bull flags take us? Well, this one right here, this bull flag, if you measured the staff and you moved it up, where did it go? Okay, it moves us up to right around here, which is like the 94.7 range. Where did it take us? Where did we go? 94.7. Then guess what happened? We started a new bull flag on the way up to that. And guess where that bull flag took us? If you measure the staff and you take it up here, took us to 97.7. Where did we go? 98.3, baby. Like, this is serious stuff. Like, you got to watch out for this stuff because this is stuff that matters. So again, we're looking at price targets of $110,000. Okay. First and foremost, if you look at what I was just previously talking about, okay, we've got $110,000 price point. First and foremost, we've got the 100K level. Okay. The 100K level is that psychological level that you have to go to. Okay. Once we get a pullback from that, I would like to see a retest of this. Okay. If we retest this and bounce, we're probably going to 110, 120K. We might be able to blow through one or two of those levels on the way to 120 or 130, but we probably won't blow through all of them at the same time. Okay. So the narrative is changing for Bitcoin where it's like, okay, we've got, all these institutions that are coming in. We've got people that are like, I want to, put 1% of my retirement portfolio in this, bing, bang, boom, blah, 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 right? That's when, once you breach the 100K level and you get to like the $110,000 Bitcoin, I believe that's when altcoin season really starts. Because, I mean, go look at Avalanche right here. Bitcoin is like, what? 30% higher than its previous all-time high almost right now. It's like at least 25% higher. Where's Avalanche? Well, Avalanche is at $35. What's its all-time high? 130. So it's at like basically a quarter. It's still down like 70%. I don't know. That's crazy to me. So altcoin season isn't going to start until people start moving profits from their Bitcoin positions into the alts, right? Because it's not the institutions that are buying up the alts, not the ones that you're thinking of, right? No institutions are buying meme coins. It's all retail people. And they're doing it with Bitcoin profits, okay? So that's my bias is we got to get through 100K. We'll probably pull back somewhere here, retest this level, and then kind of blast up to, I don't know, 110, something like that. And then hopefully what'll happen is you blast through 110, right? And then if you pull up the retracement Fibonacci or even the cup and handle, right, you're going to see that we could be going to 120. And if we blast through that and go to 130, then we would want to come back and retest that 110 or even 120 level and start legging up. And then we could see that $186,000 Bitcoin, right? And then even after that, we're probably going to have to come back down here and test somewhere in this area, even if it's 120, 130. And then most likely what's going to happen after that, you're going to have to see, you're going to look all the way up here to like 250. And then again, come back down somewhere in this area, leg up, because this is the 3.618 fib. This is like almost the last extension. Then you get up here to the 4.236, which is $292,000. Okay. So these are some pretty hefty price targets. And if Bitcoin hits a 3 or 4x on this, imagine what the altcoins do. Imagine how the Wolfer Finance portfolio does. It's already got multi-million worth of Ethereum, Avalanche, Flux, FTM. If altcoins go crazy, I mean, it's going to be great money for us, and we're all going to be dancing, having a good time, and everybody will be happy. So obviously, that's exactly what we want to see, right? Okay, so if you look here at the previous run, right, like the low from the low before the 2017 bull run, right? If you look at the low, which is way back here, I mean, it's like so minuscule. I'm not even going to zoom in. I know it's accurate. Okay, I literally did it myself, and it's on point almost to the penny. And you measure it to the high, okay, on that same Fibonacci retracement model that we have. If you measure that to the high of the 2017 bull run, and then you measure it to the low before the 2021 bull run, which is somewhere around here, you're literally going to scroll over here and see exactly how these fibs play out, man. It almost hit that 3.618 fib, which is almost, dude, I mean, this is ridiculous money. So, like, if we do the same thing on this Fibonacci, that's going to be some pretty crazy gains. Because if we hit the 3.618 or even relatively close to that, like we did on the other one, and I'll pull the other one up and we can kind of look and see what happened, right? But you're looking at it somewhere right here. You're about 3/4 of the way. So even if we get about 3/4 of the way, you're looking at $230,000 Bitcoin. Now, in my opinion, we could definitely hit the 250 and we could almost extend it to the 291. And the reason is because Bitcoin could be in a super cycle. Okay. And the reason is because the narrative has changed from an institutional and adoption perspective where other people are starting to get into this asset, right? We're literally seeing gold in a super cycle right now. And I just took a trade on gold and I made 3x on it just right now. Unrealized profits because I think it can go even further if gold hits 2750. Neither here nor there. But my point is like if I'm making 3x's on gold in a super cycle, imagine what you can make on Bitcoin. So I do think that this realm right here in the 230 to, $300,000 range is doable, especially in a super cycle that we might see more buying because usually these bull markets literally only last like anywhere from call it, 6 to 12 months tops. This might be one of those super cycles where it is an extended bull run. Like we had an extended bear, it sucked, yeah, whatever. But this could be that extended bull run where you're like, yo, this is, a 2-year bull run where just consistently going up, where you see all the alts pumping, where you see Bitcoin pumping, where you see massive adoption, not only from a investment perspective on Bitcoin, but also from a blockchain perspective of, you know, top games in the world and AI companies using blockchain, stuff like that, voting, being on the blockchain. You see all these things happening and these narratives changing, which could put us into a super cycle on Bitcoin. And if that's the case, then we're definitely looking at those $250,000, $290,000 targets. So hopefully that's helpful. If you like content like this and you like analysis like this, obviously make sure you smash the like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Boom! Bang on the notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you have differing targets. I think the narrative has changed. I think we can all agree upon that. And so long as we hold this level, again, we got to hold this level. Okay. It's not all like rainbows and butterflies from here. We got to watch our backs. Okay. So we got to hold this level. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for showing up to this one. Peace.